First question will be Chris Nee from Knowles 247 on the front row.
Good morning, Casey. What was this process for you as a transfer like compared to the high school process when you were choosing a school? I know you had a lot more options, it seemed like, this time around.
I mean, it's more kind of like a business, essentially. I mean, in high school, it's kind of like you're selling yourself for 4 years, and right now, as a graduate student, you're kind of selling yourself for 1 year. So it's kind of trying to find the perfect place for the perfect fit, the perfect opportunity as well. And so that's really the difference between from high school into the graduate student as well. So it's all about 1 year and 1 year only. It's not, you don't have 4 years to get something right. So it's coming down to the last bit of it, and it's more of a business decision rather than a school decision as well.
All right, we'll stay over there for Brendan Sinone.
With that in mind, what made Florida State the right decision for you to capitalize on that 1 year window that you have?
Really the essence of the program. I've had a great opportunity to be a part of 2 really good historical programs right now with Colorado and Florida State now. And the biggest thing about it was the culture and the people that you're around, more importantly. The people that you get to work with, you get to learn from, and also get to grow with as well. And so for me to come in and have the opportunity to do that, that's something that I was really looking forward to. And obviously with Coach Norvell and Coach Fertitta, Coach Atkins, Coach Williams, those are 4 individuals that really steered my decision to come here.
All right, next will be Irish O'Fell from Warchant on your right.
You mentioned Coach Atkins, and he's talked before about how and other recruits have talked about how he doesn't maybe take a traditional approach in terms of trying to sell you. It's more, I guess, being real. Did you appreciate that, and what have been some of your takeaways from being around Coach Atkins?
No doubt, I do appreciate that. I think that the way in which he recruits is different. It's real. It's understanding. He knows what situation you're in, and he doesn't sell you on that. He sells you on opportunity and the challenge. He doesn't sell you to the place. So I took the challenge that he presented, and I appreciate the way that he brought me to this university as well.
We'll stay there for Corey Clark.
Casey, how exciting is it to join a team that finished top 10, might be preseason top 5? I know the team you're at struggled a little bit last year. How cool is it to know you're going into a season where you guys have realistic championship expectations?
Oh, it's amazing. It's awesome. But at the end of the day, there's still work to come with that. So you got to put in the work to maintain that status quo, essentially. So, and I understand that I personally have to put in a lot of work to get the respect and get to the same level as a lot of other players here. So I understand that, and I understand what's in front of me as well. So I'm ready for that challenge. But to come into a place where the expectations are high, so is the work as well.
All right, we'll come to Zoom for a couple questions. Next will be Matt Marshall from the Orlando Sentinel.
Casey, you talked about this kind of being a business decision. What was it like what was your mentality like going into the transfer portal process? And what did you think of the process overall and how it went?
Going into the process, I understood that there's going to be a lot of schools that are going to come after you in terms of what they have, what they can offer, and stuff like that. But I understood that the biggest thing for me is to understand that this is my one opportunity to make the correct decision. This is my one opportunity to make the decision that's going to impact not only my life years from now, but a 40-year decision essentially as well. And so coming into the portal, I understood, I kind of had a place where I wanted to go, but then once Florida State came into the picture, I was like, that's where I need to go. So.
All right, next will be Matt Baker from Tampa Bay Times.
Hey Casey, how much did Florida State's success with transfer offensive line in the last couple years play into your decision? The fact that they maybe guys like you and made it successful.
I think more so is the opportunity that Coach Atkins said I've been offering. I think that their success is purely based off of what's in that offensive line room, more importantly, and the development that he's been doing for the past years has been essentially some of the best in the nation, more importantly. And so the success that they've had on the field and also off the field in the classroom was definitely a big part for the reason why I chose him.
All right, we'll go back to your left for Hassan from the Tallahassee Democrat.
Yeah, you mentioned the success on the field. How much did you watch Florida State last year, and what did you know about them going into the transfer portal before? Did you know much about them? What was that process like when you got in the portal? Was it Florida State on top of it early, or how did that work out?
Previously, coming from the University of Colorado, I knew of Florida State. I knew Coach Norvell previously from Memphis. Didn't know him personally, but I knew of him. Once he got here, I was like, wow, Florida State could be really something special in the next coming years. And then right when I got into portal, he was the first person to reach out to me. And so that really struck something in my head to be like, wow, Florida State wants me, that means that's big. That's something that I have to pursue. And so prior to that, I knew that they had a big win against LSU. Obviously, being in college football, you watch other teams. Florida State was always one where whenever I check into my hotel on Friday night, they'd be playing. So I watched like the LSU game, I watched the Louisville game, and a couple other games as well. And so I already was watching them prior, but during the season last year, I was never gonna leave University of Colorado. But then after the season, I was like, okay, it's time to choose. And God bless it, Coach Norvell reached out. So.
We'll go back to Chris Nee on the front row.
What position do you expect to initially line up at when you get out there for spring ball?
Guard, mainly. Guard center.
Do you have a preference?
Whichever is gonna allow me to best of my abilities, and whichever position is gonna allow me to play with the guys who have the same mentality as well. I think that having flexibility on the interior is obviously gonna help my playing career at the next level as well. So to have that flexibility is gonna be essential.
Okay, we'll stay over there for Brendan.
Obviously, it sounds like relationships played a big role in making this decision, but like when you enter the portal and you start realizing like FSU is an option, do you start watching film or games of FSU's offensive line to see how Coach Atkins utilizes different guys at your position group?
Oh yeah. When Florida State reached out, I was already watching interviews on Coach Atkins, what the guys think. I contacted a lot of coaches that I've previously been coached under and know of, and asked them questions about Coach Atkins regarding his coaching style and his philosophies and stuff like that. So I did my due diligence in the background history of everything, and everything that I heard from Coach Atkins was amazing. And obviously his supporting cast as well was amazing. So it was almost like it was a no-brainer.
We'll go to Aslan Hajavandi from Warchant in the back corner.
Casey, you started several years in Colorado, and coaches never promise or guarantee guys playing time. Is it just some sort of like inner confidence you have in you to make a jump like this? Do you like being out of your comfort zone? I mean, how do you kind of explain to people that might think, like, why would you leave an opportunity that you definitely had something set up for to kind of take a chance on yourself out here?
I think that comfort is the biggest thing that holds people back. The challenge more so is the opportunity that's in front of you for what's greater in your life is essentially what you need to look forward to. At the end of the day, if I were to be comfortable in a situation where I wasn't necessarily happy, I'll take the happiness over the comfort.
All right, we'll go back to Ira on your right.
Have you gotten to spend some time now with Keandre and Jeremiah, all three new guys kind of in a similar situation, and what kind of conversations have you guys had?
They're two great individuals. They bring a great presence to the room. They bring a great presence to wherever they're around. Jeremiah is an outgoing individual. He's a life individual. Keandre is another individual who's coming from Auburn, coming from a great situation as well, and he wanted to better out his opportunities as well. And so, just getting to understand those two individuals and getting to understand why they left brings me to respect them more.
Okay, we'll go back to Brendan on your left.
Derek, can I ask 2 questions?
Brendan has 2 questions.
What was the message to you coming in about the competition in the offensive line room? There's a lot of guys who played before, some promising underclassmen. Did they discuss like your role in that regard, and I guess how depth will be utilized this season?
The question about depth, that wasn't really essentially a key point in the conversation that Coach Atkins and I had. Rather, it was just about the opportunity and the challenge that's going to be in front of you that you have to overcome. So like the individual back here from Warchant said that I had a guaranteed spot at University of Colorado where I'd be coming into, but that was a comfortable position. This is coming outside of my comfort zone in a position where I could be happy as well. So that's another steering point where I chose Florida State.
And then my second question is kind of in regard to that, but the messaging from Coach Atkins about, you're obviously an experienced guy who played a lot of football. The opportunity to be a veteran, to be a leader, I guess was that pitched to you or discussed? And it's
No doubt, yeah. Now I understood that the signing class that he had already placed was a lot of young guys. And my ability that I've had throughout my entire career at the University of Colorado is through leadership. And if I could help the younger guys, because essentially what I want to do is I want to come into Florida State and know that I left this place better than when I came to it, especially within the offensive line. And understand that I have that essential qualities within me to lead individuals and steer individuals into the right direction. That's why I wanted to also choose Florida State.
Okay, We'll go back to Hassan, second row on your left.
Talk about the offensive line a little bit, but who you can be protecting, quarterback, running back, Trey, Benson, Jordan Travis. What do you know about them, and what kind of excites you to play with them?
They're electric. That's a hell of an opportunity to be able to block for and to be in front of those two individuals. So first conversation I had with Trey Benson was that he was 4 yards short of 1,000 yards. So that hurt me to know that. But that's definitely a forefront in the work that I do is to make sure that those guys get the accolades that they deserve, more so, but also to make sure that at the end of the day, the 5 people up front are a brotherhood, and we're doing everything for the other 6 guys on the field, essentially.
Ira?
You've already played a lot of college football. What are some things you still feel like you could give, besides learning new position, versatility? Are there other things you're looking to try to grow your game this offseason?
Yeah, I'd say that learning multiple positions is obviously a key point in my future and further along in my playing career as well. I'd say that football knowledge is always and never going to be expanding within your realm of football. That weight room is always going to be another thing. Stronger, faster, leaner, obviously. I came into college at 380 pounds. I don't know if y'all knew that. Actually, an individual from the staff, Coach Thompson, recruited me from when he was at Arizona State. And so he's the one that knows my story, knows my background. And coming into it, I was like, I've came a long way from that. So always expanding my abilities on the field and off the field will always help me. I think that the one important thing that I do want to incorporate is definitely football knowledge and understanding of tendencies, coverages, everything. Just know football inside and out.
We'll go to Aslan in the back corner.
2 things, like, were you like 380? This is totally fine. I'll be good at this.
I didn't think that I was 380. When I got to the University of Colorado, I was like, okay, maybe I'm like 355, 365. Like I'm benching 425. Like it's cool. Doesn't matter what the weight is. And I stepped on the schedule. It said 385.6, and I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
And then, have you heard, what are your expectations for Tour of Duty, the off-season conditioning program that you hear for us, and have you heard any stories about it?
I've heard stories. Yeah, I've heard stories. I've heard it's definitely a grind though. I got to watch it. I wasn't cleared yet. I did get to watch it last Friday, and it's an element that creates an edge within the program. Not only that edge is continued throughout the football year though, because when you're in the tour of duty, you're doing something for somebody else. It creates that brotherhood, that culture, that strive for greatness as well. And so I think that the tour of duty is an essential part of Florida State, and I hope to be a part of it this week.
We'll come to Corey Clark for more chance.
Two quick ones. How did you lose the weight? Like, what are you now? What is your playing weight now? How hard was it to lose the weight?
It's a day in and day out grind. First of all, it's diet more importantly than exercise. Like you can exercise all you want, but you like crap and you won't lose anything. And what was the second question now?
No, it was just like, what are you now? Like, what do you want to be at? What's your playing weight?
315. Last year I played at 310.
Okay.
315 is my playing weight. I feel good at 315. I feel like I can move people off the ball at 315. So 315 to 320 is definitely where my range needs to be. Now, a lot of guys and a lot of NFL players do it too. Whoever they're playing, they might lose a couple pounds during the week, or they might gain a couple pounds during the week, depending on the type of scheme or depending on the type of players that they're going against. So if you're going against like a Vince Wilforks and you're weighing 310 on a Monday, you better get to 317 by the end of the week just to get those 7 pounds on you.
And just talking to you, you're obviously a very bright guy. You've already graduated, right? You're
Correct.
a grad student.
Yes,
What
sir.
after football, whether that's 15 years from now or whatever, what do you want to do? What do you see yourself doing?
I see myself being the general manager of an organization. I think more importantly, I think that, and that was another opportunity that steered me to Florida State, was that Jason Garrett's brother is on staff here. And so a big reason why I wanted to choose Florida State was not because I said it before, it's not just a 1-year decision, it's a 4-year decision. And I think that's likewise, even if I were in high school, as if what you had stated before, is that high school recruits don't understand. It's not about the monetary 3 years. It's about what you're going to do 40 years from now that's going to affect your future and affect the decision why you chose that. And so I could see myself definitely running an organization. Maybe it's not within football, I love to do it within football because I feel like football has given me so much. But running an organization and leading other people is definitely where I see myself in the future.
Sounds like a good one to end on.
Yes.
All right.